Okay.
Okay. Jacked episode SF Kags episode 10.
Everything. Everything episode
Podcast
10.
episode 10. All
Exactly.
right. So, what's poppin', boys?
What's new, bro? We had a lot to say before this recording
Yeah.
started. Now everyone's quiet.
Yo,
Everyone's oh, it's like we're first meeting each other right now. Oh, what's going on, bro?
if we start with
Oh man,
this, the person who's listening to this know exactly what we're talking about. If we start with this conversation,
Moisturizer.
he's the only one that listens. Yeah, moisturization.
Yeah.
Moisturization, is that even a word?
Moisturization.
Moisturization.
moisturization,
Moisturization.
moisturization.
Moisturization. Do you guys moisturize?
No.
Sometimes.
Sounds.
Only the elbows, bro.
Kegs, don't you have to?
Oh, Kex is on his head.
On my head, like I'll just lotion my face, and then like my face doesn't really end, so I just keep going.
That's fucking sick, bro.
Yo, do you put I don't know if this is a real thing. You put something on your like head to make it shiny, right? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just asking. Do bald people do that?
Just lotion,
Lotion.
Like oil, no?
but like no,
No? Coconut oil?
I don't.
No?
I just when I put my lotion on my face, I just make sure I get my head, and I'm
Okay.
Yo, have you seen those videos where people get plungers and they stick it on the bald person's head?
Mhm.
Bro,
That's
I
fine.
know one day I'm gonna come in here and you're gonna be there standing with the plunger, and I'm gonna have to run away the entire time. Like I'm gonna be doing my
Yeah.
set, and it's gonna
Boom.
Yeah, that'd be funny,
rip it
bro.
off.
Yeah, you can't take that shit off. I just saw a video of it yesterday.
Actually?
Yeah, you can't take
Take
it
it
off. This
What
guy
happened?
What do you mean?
he put a plunger on his head. He was bald, and then he was
Yeah.
pulling it off. This guy ripped out the wooden part, and the rubber was still on his head.
Oh shit. You can probably lubricate it and then get it
I
out.
would try that.
That could be a Halloween costume.
What the
I,
what type of
I got too
Halloween
many.
costume is
I
that?
got too many.
Yo,
Halloween
what if
costumes
you
Have a
wear
now.
toilet
the
plunger on your head?
what if you wear the plunge and then you go outside in the wintertime and you tell people I'm cold plunging?
Damn. Not
Okay,
bad.
so we're gonna be talking about belly fat.
That was a sick transition, bro.
Okay,
Weight loss, belly fat.
weight loss, belly fat.
Okay. So obviously 1 month into New Year's, people have been trying to lose their belly, trying
Yeah.
to lose fat. What's the number one thing they should be doing to lose fat? You go,
Calorie
man.
deficit.
You need
Calorie deficit? Okay, fine.
My bad.
All
no,
good.
go
Time
Kex.
there.
Go Kex.
Calorie deficit.
Just don't say anything
Calorie
crazy,
deficit.
bro.
Yeah.
We'll be okay. Calorie deficit. So essentially, law of thermodynamics. Like this isn't
Oh,
like
damn.
Damn.
when you get to energy
Sorry.
levels. Like
Oh
there's
shit.
certain things that are truths, and then there's certain things that are laws. Right? Laws like you can't break. It's like gravity. Gravity exists even if you
Yeah.
want to say the Earth is flat or whatever. Like gravity still exists. Same
Yep.
thing with the law of thermodynamics. You can't negate that, right? So a calorie deficit is essentially you're burning more energy than you're putting into your body,
Yep.
right? And if you're not burning fat, you're not in a calorie deficit. And if not in a calorie deficit, you're not burning fat. So one of those can't happen without the other, right? So in terms of getting into a calorie deficit, best way to do that, figure out how much calories you're eating, putting in your body, how much calories you're consuming. So track your food.
Yeah.
And then based on that, you want to burn more calories. So you want to track the scale, see if it's going down. If it's going down, you're in a calorie deficit. If it's not, then you're not in a calorie deficit. And you can measure like calories burned or whatever, but I don't think there's any tool or device or whatever that actually measures that accurately.
Yeah.
So there's no point in even looking at that. It just makes sense to look at the scale, look at how many calories you're eating because that's what you can control, and aim to be in a calorie deficit over time.
One of the easiest ways you could figure out your calorie deficit is just do your body weight times 15 minus 500 calories.
Easy money.
So if you're 200 pounds times 15, that is 3,000 calories.
Wow.
That's some quick ass math.
That's fine.
Minus 500, that's gonna give you 2,500 calories.
There you go.
Or you could just find a calculator online, but the calculators online are a little bit skewed.
Yeah.
Right.
And then to really make sure that is the deficit, like what Kags was saying, if you're tracking your body weight, you'll know if it's actually working for you or not. Because I get this all the time, bro. I don't know if you've probably heard this so many times. Like, hey, bro, I'm in a deficit, but I can't lose fat.
No, you're not in one.
You're not in a deficit, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's one of the common things. It's like, yo, like, I'm eating so clean. the fucking, what do you mean clean, right? If you're not tracking your shit, how do you know if it's like what is even clean, right? Like, Manraj uses Rice Krispies cereal. That's technically, actually, that's pretty clean. Never mind, I won't shit on his Rice Krispies, but
My
anyways,
diet's elite, bro.
yeah, diet's elite, yeah.
No
But yeah,
cooking diet.
just make sure like you track your stuff so you know you're in a deficit or not, right?
Exactly.
If you think you're not, you're probably not.
And even if you're eating the worst food possible, if you're eating burgers and you're in a deficit, you'll lose
Yeah,
body fat. But if you're eating watermelons and fruit and you're eating in a surplus, you'll gain body fat,
yeah,
right?
true.
So just make sure that you're actually basing it off calories and not quality of food, whether it's clean or bad, right? Because it doesn't really matter, right?
In terms of fat loss.
In terms of fat loss, it doesn't matter. In terms of
Yeah.
fat loss, yeah, just
Okay.
have to clarify on that.
All
And
right.
then when you're losing your weight or your body
Yeah.
fat, just
Yeah.
do a weekly average. Like a
There you
lot of
go.
people will check their weight, like,
Yeah.
Wednesday, one day only, right?
Yeah.
One day only is fine if you're losing like 2 pounds a week or you have a lot of fat to lose. But the deeper you get into your deficit, make sure you're doing every day, and then just
Yeah.
get the average of the 7 days.
Yeah.
And compare that average to next week average,
And just
right?
try to make sure like whenever you weigh yourself, it's like controlled in terms of if you take it after a shit, before a shit, or in the morning, clothes on, no clothes on. I just keep it consistent. I have people who, like, sometimes they chug a big ass glass of water and then
Yeah,
weigh themselves, and they weigh themselves the next day without drinking the water. Or
yeah,
like you weigh yourself at nighttime. It's like, yo, your weight's gonna fluctuate so much because the water intake, food intake,
yeah,
whatever stuff is going on. If you're holding on to more water, more salt.
yeah,
So please keep it consistent when you do weigh yourself.
yeah.
The
And even
fluctuation. Yeah.
even that goes for progress pictures too, right? Make sure in the
Yeah, yeah,
same
yeah.
exact pose,
Yeah,
lighting, and stance as well, and in the same
yeah.
exact state, right?
Exactly.
Whether you're using the washroom before and after, right?
Yeah,
Because when you do the comparison side by side,
yeah,
you don't want to do one progress picture after a workout, 400 grams of carbs with two
yeah,
liters of water, and then one in the morning at 6 a.m. in a dark ass room
yeah,
with no water, no food, or anything, right? They're gonna look significantly different. I think
yeah.
you've posted this. You've posted a picture of like first thing in the morning and like after workout, right?
Pump. Yeah, bro.
I think you've
Yeah.
posted a couple
In the
times.
morning and then post pump and like post 3 meals. And then like post angle flexing. You
Yeah.
look like 5 times the size, bro.
I never do that. I just catfish.
It's fine, bro.
Yeah.
It's fine. He just shows
I
up
find the
after a
biggest
thousand
thing
days. Yeah.
for a calorie deficit, like most people think they're in a calorie deficit, but they're not tracking their food properly. They're not
Yeah.
tracking all of the food that they're eating.
Yeah.
And like the small bites that you take out of the fridge, like when you're kind of hungry, or like the small things you don't account for, like drinks and stuff like that, like that
Yeah.
stuff adds up. And
Yeah.
people are like, yo, I'm not in a calorie deficit, but it's like you didn't actually account for all the calories you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
So it's like I think the best way is probably like food scale. If you can measure out the food instead of using like weighing cups, or like people try to eyeball things. It's like
Yeah.
you're not that guy yet. You don't know how much food
You're
is
not him,
left
bro.
up. You're not him, so it doesn't make
Uh-huh.
sense. Use a scale.
Yeah.
Um, especially if you're like actually trying to see progress. If you're trying to maintain, it's one thing, but if you're trying to do this fat loss thing, you want to make things most efficient as possible, right? So use
Yeah.
the food scale, measure out your food as best you can, and track the things consistently instead of like not tracking certain things because that's typically where most people are gonna falter in the calorie deficit thing. It's like they're like, oh, they think they're eating in a deficit, but they're actually eating like in a surplus, right? So you
Yep.
don't know until you can actually track things properly.
Yeah.
Well,
And you can get away without tracking your food on a scale and this and that if you're eating the same exact thing every single day and
yeah.
slowly just increasing your cardio or decreasing your portion size. But that does not work for 99.9% of the people out there. Very
Yeah.
small amount of people are able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, like when I'm in a bulk, I don't really try. I mentioned this on my other podcast, bro. I never use MyFitnessPal. I've never used MyFitnessPal. I don't track anything, right? I just eat whatever my coach gives me on the meal plan, and then we'll just like increase it, right? So you can get away with it, but
Yeah.
it's not the most efficient or effective way either, right?
So, bro, I don't have time to track, bro. I don't have time
Shut
to
up.
I don't have time to measure foods. I don't
Shut
have
up.
time to put it on a scale. I don't have time to put it in the app, my fitness pal. I'm such a busy human being. I have so much shit going on in my life, right? How can I still be in a caloric deficit, bro?
Just
I'm
don't
so busy.
don't achieve your goals. It's okay, bro.
But I
You're so
want to.
busy. You're so busy. Don't even worry about it, bro. You have so much going on. Don't achieve your goals.
But please, bro, I want to. I want to lose this belly fat. I want to get married. My
Yo.
mom's trying to get me married, bro. Please, I need
Oh
to
my
get, I to lose
God.
this belly fat.
Yeah.
How
Yo,
can I make time?
bro, this is what you do. You just go on MyFitnessPal. I think you just post everything once and then you just
Yeah.
copy it to the next day. You could do that, right?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
you don't have time. You don't have 2.5 seconds to click one button. People have the time, bro. I feel like when a lot of people say that, I think they're eating off plan. That's what I feel like.
For sure.
And they don't want to actually track everything accurately,
Yeah.
right? But yo, sometimes people do forget. Like every single day, I'll message my guys. I'll be like, bro, there's no calories for yesterday. And I'm like, oh shit, bro, I'm inputting the dinner right now. So they'll
Yeah,
kind of
I
forget.
forget.
But you have the time, bro. Average person works what 40 hours?
Yeah.
You have time. You have
That's
like
like
six
Yeah.
when
hours
you're putting your food on the plate, just put the weighing scale and then put the food on the plate after that. Like it's not that big of a step to just press a button and slide the scale in the plate. And
Yeah.
then you know how much you're eating. It's not like, yo, you're too lazy to grab the scale that's across the counter. Like, come on, man.
Bro, also one thing I want to say is input your food first rather than eating it first. Right?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think I've talked to a couple people like they'll eat the food and then they'll input it. They'll be like, oh fuck, I went over.
Or more
Right?
calories.
They went over by 500 calories. Like, bro, how the fuck did you do this? You just fucked it up, right?
Yeah.
So input your food first. Like, bro, some of my guys that are like the most consistent, they actually
Yeah.
input their food the day before.
Makes sense.
I don't know if you've had a couple people do that. They'll input their
I
food
do that.
the day
I'm
before.
my favorite guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't input any of my food.
Yeah.
But
Not as smart.
yeah, and these guys will like kill it. They'll stay consistent. But
Yeah.
like sometimes I'll have people, they kind of do this or that. And I feel like a big part of it is like majority of people eat the same like 5 to 10 meals.
Yeah.
So it's like if you just input those 10 meals once, you could just keep copy and pasting them over and over.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
no
true.
one's actually making new recipes week after week. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. Majority,
I
99% of the people.
Challenge that.
Bro, like I know I was obviously trolling. I don't have time, whatever. But like one of the biggest things I think with time in general, it saves you so much more time. Like think about it in this manner, like, well, fucking keep guessing if you're in a deficit or not, and then not knowing if you're in a deficit or not, and just spending 6 months doing that. You just wasted 6 months where you could have possibly just lost all the weight you wanted to lose in such an accelerated time frame. But like if you just spent the extra 2 minutes, I think Kags, you did a video on this the other day too. I think screen time, right? It's like, I don't have fucking
Oh yeah.
time. And look at the screen time was like 77 hours. It's like, yo, bro, like, if you just spent like 60 seconds of that and just copy pasted, like you just said, the meals from yesterday, fucking
Yeah.
track calories. And then you would know if you're in a deficit or not. And then you start losing fat. And you can get your wife that you want to get, you know?
There's a lot of
Yeah.
marriage jokes, bro. I feel like you're trying.
No, but it's
Okay.
just a joke. I guess that's a big
Yeah.
brown thing, right? That's
Yeah.
what you have most. I don't know if you get that often. It's like either I'm trying to go to Cancun or I'm trying to get married. That's why I don't lose fat.
People, brown guys say that to you?
Bro, that's like probably like half actually. That's a good amount of like client inquiries. So yeah, I'm getting married next year.
Damn. Oh, getting married next year.
Yeah.
I thought they'd come on the call. They're like, yo, I'm trying to get married. Like I'm trying to find
Well,
a
like I'm trying to find a girl. That comes too, but like that comes like later on in the client journey per se. It's like, yo, by the way, bro, like I'm trying to find a girl too now. Okay,
They
the
come
first
in, they're
point.
like, yo, I'm trying to get married in 2 years. They're like,
Yeah.
yo, marriage is in 2 years. They're like, yo, I gotta find a girl halfway through this.
No,
That's
like,
crazy.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, I gotta get married in 2 years, but you don't even have a girl, you know? Bro,
Okay, so
that's step
uh,
one.
I'll bring it back. So first thing, calorie deficit,
Calorie
right?
deficit.
Make sure the way you can get in calorie, Manraj said, easy way, track body weight times 15 minus 500.
Boom.
Track body weight every day, same time, same pictures, take averages. You'll know if you're in a deficit or not. And the second point.
It's gonna be managing your appetite. A lot of the
Okay.
times when people are in calorie deficit, they're like, oh, it's too hard. I feel hungry all the time. I'm starving, this and that.
Yeah.
That's because like your selection of food is off,
Yeah.
right? So, for example, right? If you're in a calorie deficit, these are two different things. But let's say you have 300 calories, right? And you're feeling
Right.
very hungry.
Yeah.
Rather than having like an avocado, that's like 300 calories because it's very dense in fat. So it's going to be
Yeah.
very dense in calories. You could have like an entire watermelon, which is 300 calories, right? So using foods that are lower in calories, like fruits, vegetables, right? That are going to take up more space and volume in your stomach is going to help a lot with managing your appetite. And another big thing is whenever you fill up your stomach expands, right? and it has nerve endings attached to your stomach, and it'll send a signal up to your brain, which is
Yeah.
going to increase your leptin, which is your appetite suppressant.
Science.
Right.
Nice, bro.
So the more often you're able to increase your stomach volume, the more you're going to suppress your appetite, right? So a simple thing could be like drinking
There you
water, right?
Yeah.
So in the morning, right?
Howdy, brother.
And
Okay.
I just went to Texas for like half a second. In the morning, right? Having like 1,000 milliliters of water,
Yeah.
right? And then at night having 1,000 milliliters of water. So small things like that.
Yeah.
Having more fruits throughout your days. For example, I used to have a lot of blueberries in my diet.
They got too expensive.
Shit is mad expensive, bro.
Yeah.
I had to pick up a couple more Uber shifts.
It's fried.
I used to have blueberries in my diet, but
Yeah.
then my appetite, I was feeling like really, really hungry. So we switched out blueberries for raspberries. So
Yeah.
100 grams of blueberries is equal to
Yeah.
200 grams of raspberries. Same exact calories and carbs, minus
Yeah.
a couple here and there, right?
Yeah.
But knowing a wider selection of food that you can make small changes here and there is going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like having a little bit more lower fats in a cut helps a lot.
Yeah.
Like don't
This
have like
actually-
90 grams, bro.
Yeah, this actually goes into like raspberries are high in fiber too,
Yeah.
much higher fiber than blueberries. It's probably more satiating too.
Yeah.
Another thing is like protein intake. I think I
Yeah,
don't know if this relates to this, but Kags, you were saying thermodynamics?
Thermodynamics, yeah. Protein's the
Thermodynamics,
most
yeah.
thermogenic macronutrient.
There you go. So
Yeah.
like what's that? I think like the ratio is that if you have 100 calories of protein, it takes about 30 calories out of those 100 calories to actually burn that protein.
Yeah.
So like your net 70 calories. So
Mhm.
even with the higher and the fats and carbs are a bit lower end. So I think fats is the lowest. Like they digest not as much. Your body doesn't burn as many calories digesting fats. And the carbs is like 30% or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
What
15%,
is
some shit like that.
yo, how long do you know the difference? Because I know obviously protein takes a lot longer to digest, right?
Yeah.
Fats and carbs. Do you know the actual like time or like stat on that or no?
I don't know the exact time.
Yeah. I know it takes longer, so having a
Takes
higher
longer.
protein diet definitely helps. But
Yeah.
I'm curious to like what the actual stat is. We gotta look it
Yeah.
up one
And
day.
like like you said, volume. When you have more protein too, protein dense foods, you'll feel like you're filling more volume in your stomach, which again, suppressing appetite, right?
Even another big thing, right, is we're talking about suppressing appetite and suppressing appetite, but you have to look at the other side of it as well, right?
Yeah.
What's going to cause an increase of appetite?
Yeah.
What's going to increase
Sure.
ghrelin, right? So ghrelin is your appetite hormone. So if your sleep is low, you're sleeping less than like 6 hours.
There you go.
What the hell are you doing, right? You're
Yeah.
going to be starving the whole entire day. That's going to increase your appetite. Another
Yeah.
big thing is like your stress and your cortisol.
Yeah.
Stress and cortisol, I don't really say anything for that because it's very person to person dependent and life dependent,
For sure.
right? Like if something happens, I could be like, come on, bro, manage your stress. But
Yeah.
like it's a
Just
really
do some
stressful
gorilla breathing.
situation.
The gorilla
Right?
Do
breathing.
some gorilla breathing.
Exactly. No. So managing your stress is important as well, right? With your
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
Stress, I wouldn't say too much because you can only manage what you can manage, right, in your life.
For
But
sure.
sleep, like you should be getting bare minimum like 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
Right. And then well, if you're a male, if you have low sleep, that's gonna decrease your testosterone,
Oh no.
which
I
is
don't
gonna
want
do
that.
Damn.
what
That's
the
so
hell are
bad.
you doing? Yeah, what are
Come
you
on,
doing?
bro. Come
And
on.
that's gonna reduce how much body fat you're able to burn, right? Your
Yeah.
strength in the gym, how much muscle you're able to preserve throughout the cut. So everything from there is just a downhill.
Downhill,
It's a
bro.
disaster.
Just gotta hop on trend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like this is good science on it. Like if you have high cortisol, like high stress, people are like, yo, bro, like I don't know why I just, no sleep. I crave a lot of carbs at night. So one of the best ways to suppress cortisol is you have carbs. So when people say like I can't get rid of my cravings, I'm always craving sugar. If you literally look at your lifestyle, you'll notice that there's a lot of like stressors per se, or like people like recovering well, not getting enough sleep, and you're just craving through the roof in terms of carbs because your body's trying to suppress that cortisol. That's why technically science-wise, like if someone's like the intra workouts are a big thing in the whole bodybuilding game, right? And one of the best things that the intra workout obviously replenishes you, but also as you're increasing cortisol, which you need to in the gym to put stress on the muscle so it grows, the way you can blunt it is actually through some carbs. That's why intra workout carbs
Yeah.
are clutch.
Like carbolin. Yeah.
Carbolin, yeah. But like that's why if you know the mental game behind it, it's like, oh, I'm craving something right now. and you reflect on your day. It's like, oh, I only slept 5 hours because I was watching Netflix for 3 hours, or whatever it is. I had a busy day, and you realize it's not just like, oh, I just can't stop these cravings. It's because your lifestyle is making you more stressed. So maybe reduce that aspect so you won't have these cravings, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
that
like,
that
Another
actually,
point for
yeah,
hunger management, also like that's where like I think intermittent fasting comes into play. Like
cool.
some people like you
Yeah,
got to eat when you're hungry. Like if you're not hungry in the morning, it doesn't like for me if I go on a cut, like I don't typically get hungry in the morning. And, like I'm not
mm,
a breakfast person, so I'll just
yeah,
save my calories for later on in the day,
yeah,
like in the afternoon or the evening, and I'll
yeah,
have like bigger meals then because that's when one I'm using more energy, but two I'm also actually hungry.
yeah,
So it's not like you
yeah,
can manage that a lot better instead of just eating when you're not hungry. And then
yeah,
that way you have less calories later on, and then you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot too, right? So
yeah.
being in tune with like if you're actually hungry or not, if you're bored, like paying attention to those
There you go.
signals as well,
Yeah.
also goes a long way instead of managing that over the long period of time.
Yeah. And even like I think this you mentioned in the first point, the calorie deficit. Like even though like you can still lose fat with specific calories, even if you eat like a burger compared to like a lot of watermelon, you can still gain weight or lose fat. This
yeah,
is where like it comes in handy, right? Managing hunger. If you
yeah,
do have that shitty food, you're gonna like crave more shitty food and you're
yeah,
gonna want more and more food. So it's gonna be really like you're gonna be fighting against your willpower constantly. So just make better food. That's why people recommend, obviously, like Manraj was saying, high vegetables, fruits. It's gonna give you the fiber intake, nutrient intake. And I don't know if you guys heard this analogy. Whenever your body's hungry, not analogy, it's not a fucking analogy. Every time your body's hungry, it's just asking for nutrients. So when you give it like shitty food, right? You give it a burger, it still stays hungry because you didn't actually give it the nutrients it wanted to. It wanted, right? So if you give it fruits and veggies, it feels much more satiated. And then it's like, oh shit, yo, thank you, bro. And you don't feel as hungry. So this is where like the whole same calorie thing, that's where it kind of makes a difference. It's like not all calories are the same. It's like make sure you do choose whole foods, higher fiber, protein, and foods that are a bit more healthier per se for you, right? They're gonna make you feel more satiated, and yo, the cut's gonna be much more of a smoother ride. It's not gonna be this like hardcore thing. Maybe
yeah,
like towards, yeah, most people it shouldn't be hard at all. Like for most
That's
people,
the
like
point.
it should be just consistent. Like it should just be like, oh, cool, I'm in a deficit. You're just eating better, and then you just can do that for a long time. You shouldn't even feel too hungry. Maybe towards the end of the cut, maybe, and then the hunger is a sign that you're losing fat, which is a good thing. You want to do that.
yeah,
It's great for your body, man.
yeah,
One of the most like overrated foods for me on a cut is like protein bars. Because like if I have like because they taste so good,
Yeah,
if I have one, like I know the macros are really good, like I'm more incentivized to have something else that's more sweet. So I'll just like eat a lot more of them
nice.
instead of like if I would just eat whole foods
Yeah,
where it's like it's not super like processed if you want to call it that, or it's like not gonna kick into the cravings. Like it's like you don't want like super hyper palatable foods. Like if you have burgers all the time,
there you go.
sure you're in a calorie deficit, like it also tastes really, really good. So your body
Yeah,
starts to crave that a lot more too. Right. So
yeah,
just when you're picking out whole foods, they're like foods that are a lot less processed. You're just not putting yourself in a position where you're constantly craving that a lot more. Right.
yeah,
So it's just like that's when it comes back to like it's like, yeah, you can eat whatever food you want on a fat loss diet, but just like, is it gonna help you stick to that long term?
yeah.
And the answer, if you're eating shit food, is probably no.
yeah. And the more calorically dense foods you eat, the harder it is to be consistent,
There you go. Yeah,
right? So like if you're having rice, like let's say in a bulk you have rice and then you put olive oil on top of it for extra calories, it's like 300 calories.
yeah.
Don't do that in your cup,
There you
right?
go.
Don't do that in your cup. Use those
Yeah,
300 calories for like 300 grams of like raspberries, right?
yeah,
Or blueberries, or I don't know, a couple apples here and there.
yeah.
It's gonna serve you a lot better.
This is I guess would be the third point. So first, calorie deficit. Second, managing your
Appetite.
hunger,
Yeah, managing
appetite.
appetite. Yeah.
Right. So through better foods, choices, protein, make sure your recovery is good, sleep is good, stress isn't through the roof. Third thing I would say, you didn't even have this on the point. I just thought of it right now. Is like you just mentioned, say like in a bulk you're having 300 grams of rice and they put olive oil on it, and
Yeah.
then during your cut, don't do that. One of the biggest things I would say is like when you're bulking or like maintaining, make sure like the food choices are still fairly good. And I think if you watch our bulk podcast that we're talking about, still keep it clean. Don't get rowdy with it that you go into this dirty bulk phase. And if you're doing that, transitioning into a cup becomes really easy. So I would almost recommend just build better habits in terms of eating decently, have a good structure, right? and then transition into a cut instead of like drop everything what you're doing right now, and then you just go into a cut and you just bounce back, gain all the weight back, right? So
Yeah.
it'll be an easy transition phase into losing body fat, right? So if you're just transitioning from a whatever you're eating, and then structure, and then just change certain foods, quantity of the foods. So much
And
easier.
even at the start of your cut, you don't have to drop everything. That's
Yeah,
a mistake
exactly.
a lot of people make, right? So
There you go.
if you're eating 2 cheat meals a week or something, and
Yeah.
you're eating a couple cookies every day or a couple snacks, this and that,
Yeah.
you don't even have to drop your 2 cheat meals. You could
Yeah.
literally just drop the snacks every single day. Just
Yeah.
walk around a little bit more and you'll lose like 5 to 10 pounds just
Yeah.
starting off by doing that.
That's it.
Right? And then once you can go without the snacks,
Yeah.
then drop, 1 cheat meal, move around a little bit more, and then you
Yeah.
lose another 5 to 10 pounds.
That's
And
it.
then, you'll build a habit of that. And then drop the second one.
Yeah. This is where the whole tracking shit's so important, right? Track your pictures, track calories, and you can do all this. You can integrate it into your own lifestyle instead of making this fucking massive, drastic change where like your willpower is constantly fighting against you, right?
Yeah.
Just make systems. That's it.
Yeah.
Follow the
It's
systems.
useless, bro. You're gonna give in one day. It's
Yeah, yeah.
useless.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no way around it, right?
100%.
Unless you have a date or a competition or something specific planned, you're
Yeah.
gonna give in. So yeah.
And that's actually I almost recommend it when someone is cutting. Like don't deprive yourself to the point because you see this bodybuilder stuff online and like certain persons trying to compete. That person is doing it with a purpose. That guy doesn't give a shit about cheat meals. He wants to achieve a certain
Yeah.
physique. So like
Yeah.
don't compare yourself to that person. That's useless to you. You doesn't actually you're never gonna get that physique. Even because the fact that you're thinking about cheat meals, you're probably never gonna get that physique. You're probably gonna stay the same. So don't even compare yourself to it. I'm not saying in a rude manner. I'm just saying like you're trying to compare yourself to a Ferrari, but like you're a fucking like Honda Civic and shit, right? So,
Yeah.
but
And
anyway,
Wow.
and as
Why
much
are we
as you
dissing civics, bro? What?
I know.
Come
And
on,
as
man.
the
and
Honda
as much
Civics are the best. I'm saying most of us are Honda Civics, which is good.
and bro, like when people do compare themselves to that, they
Yeah,
don't actually know like what it takes, right?
exactly. They don't know the inputs. It's like normal gas with premium gas.
Yeah.
There you go.
So like 18-year-old kids and they'll be like, oh, I'm going on a dirty bulk. I'm gonna look
Yeah.
like C-bum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. So fourth point, training. What do I need to do training wise? What's the best workout, bro, for fat loss? Where I can get rid of all my belly fat and get like 6 packs, like C-bum, bro.
Do 100 crunches,
Okay.
right? Do 200 twists, Russian twists.
Like this? Sorry, that was fucking
Yeah,
weird.
on a chair. Like
My
this, right?
chair actually twists, bro.
Grab one side and just
Oh
twist it
shit.
like that.
I almost got choked out with my wire.
And then you want to do a plank for 3 hours a day, right?
Okay. I'm
So
gonna lose all my belly
Damn.
fat.
you could spot reduce.
Wow.
That's sick.
That's fucking dope, bro.
Yeah, you can't do that dumb shit. But in all seriousness, what you
Yeah.
want to do is literally keep your workout program identical to whatever it was in the bulk. And you want to
I don't
maintain your strength.
so I'm not gonna do like 50 more reps for every exercise. It's gonna I want
Nah.
toned. I want toned look,
Oh,
bro.
even that, how many calories do people think they burn with doing 20 extra bicep curls?
I think they get more toned. They feel like they're getting more toned because they do more reps.
Feelings? No, bro.
Is that just a
Facts.
pump?
Yeah.
No. So just keep your weight training program literally identical to what you're
Yeah.
doing in the bulk
Okay.
and
Okay.
just maintain your strength. You could change a couple exercises here or there if you want to switch bench press to dumbbell press,
Yeah.
whatever, just for a little bit of variety. But you
Yeah.
want to make sure you're maintaining your strength, right? Because what's going to happen is when you come out of the other end, you're going to be doing dumbbell press for like 20 reps, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
But in your bulk, you're doing like hundreds.
Yeah. It makes
So
no
you're going
sense.
to lose all that strength. And a lot of the time, you're going to lose that muscle mass as well, right? Because
Yeah.
if your body is very smart. If it doesn't need anything, it's going to get rid of it,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
your body doesn't want to put on muscle mass. That's why it's so hard to put on muscle mass. And
Yeah.
you have to go to such extreme lengths to do it, right? So you want to maintain your strength as much as possible. And then with your training, any intensifiers, you want to get rid of them. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think so. Because the majority of the people, I don't know if you've seen some crazy programs where people are doing supersets, drop sets, this, that, insane amount of supersets and drop sets, right?
I fucking rip it, bro.
That's fine when you have a bulk and you have like 200-300 calories extra. But when
Yeah.
you're in a deficit, just really focus on maintaining your strength, right?
Yeah.
Because the average person, right, they're not sleeping a lot, 6 to 7 hours, right?
Yeah.
They're not drinking a lot of water, right? Their diet's off here and there.
Yeah.
So really, really just focus on maintaining the strength. Obviously, for people that are like live, breathe, and eat this life, we could do it. Like we could still have the intensifiers in
For
there because
sure.
we'll be
Yeah. Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
We sleep like 8, 10 hours a day, right?
Oh yeah.
But majority of the people, I would just get rid of them
Okay.
because fatigue is going to
That's
be very high being in a cut, and then they're going to raise fatigue even more. And a lot of people, they're not comfortable being in a deficit, so that in itself is going to cause a little bit more stress, right? They're going to start thinking more this and that, falling off track, getting back on track.
yeah.
So I wouldn't even do that.
So the training isn't really even gonna be like stimulating enough like for muscle growth in a fat loss phase. You're
No,
not
you're
gonna
not even
be.
gonna grow. You're not even gonna build
There you
muscle.
go.
I mean,
Okay.
you can build muscle like if you're working out for like 6 months.
Yeah.
After a year, I would say like you either need to be in a surplus or a deficit, right?
Okay. Okay.
To build muscle or lose body
Yeah.
fat. You can't be like in between. Ronan was telling me this, what was it, 2 weeks ago? A week ago?
Yeah. A week ago. This early this week.
Yeah, like he's in a maintenance phase, literally
Yeah.
useless, right?
Okay.
And then he was saying like, bro, this is the most useless state ever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was saying the same
Okay.
shit. I'm like, because you have no direction, right? You're
Yeah,
not
you have
trying
no
to go.
direction. You're just kind of
You're not trying to
maintaining.
go up, or you're not trying to get more shredded. So
Yeah,
like you're just feeling the same. So it's not like a. But it's I guess it's a more like a phase after a cut, so you don't get
yeah,
too
yeah,
fat. That's what I'm
yeah.
trying to achieve here.
And you're doing for
Uh,
a trip or something, right?
yeah. Yeah. We're trying to maintain it for a trip.
Yeah, yeah.
Might as well. It was like 2 weeks. So, but
I
yeah,
think for most people, when they go into training on a cut, like you should still be fighting for more reps, or at least
yeah,
at the minimum, fighting to keep the reps that you did last
Yeah,
week, instead of just going in there thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna be weak." So
there you go.
like I'm gonna be weak. Let me just do less,
There you
right?
go.
It's like
Yeah,
I think one of the biggest things that I learned on my last cut was just like how important your nutrition before and after your training is.
yeah,
And like if you can feel that a lot better, then you're gonna go into the gym and one, you might maintain strength. Two, you might even make a little bit of strength gains, especially at the beginning of a cut, because you still have so much body fat to lose,
yeah.
right? So
yeah,
you can't just go into it right away thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna be weaker." It's like, no, don't be a fucking bitch. Actually fight for the reps and like push yourself, and that's why your body will keep that muscle in the first place.
yeah,
And if you're not doing that, then you're just gonna set yourself up for
For
muscle loss
failure.
at the end of the cut, right?
yeah.
So just
Even
when you go into the sorry, go ahead.
no, go, okay, go.
I
Go,
was
go,
just gonna
go.
say, like when you go into the gym, just like have the mindset that you want to fight for every rep, and you're still trying to beat your logbook. Like your mindset shouldn't change, regardless if you're in a bulk or in a cut,
Yeah,
regardless of the outcome, right?
Even when like we're talking about building muscle, people are already failing in their cut before it even starts. Because what do
mm,
people think, right? Oh, I'm in a cut, they start training really, really hard.
yeah,
But what I've seen is like when people are in a bulk or they're eating a lot
yeah,
of food, bro, they're
yeah,
not even training hard, right?
yeah,
Like that's actually where you're gonna see the most amount of progress. Not
yeah.
actually the most, that's where you're gonna see all the
All
progress
the progress.
when it comes to like building muscle, right?
Yeah,
So like I'll see people they're like, yeah, I'm just kind of doing whatever, I'm just bulking, and they'll start their cut and they're going mental in the gym, supersetting this,
yeah,
that, this, right? But
yeah,
you want to stay in the bulk or a small surplus as long as possible. That
yeah,
way you could build that muscle. So when you do
yeah.
cut, you don't look like skinny fat.
That's it.
So like
100%.
there's a reason why Ronan, how many years did you take off? You took off 3 years?
I didn't do a hard cut for like 5 years.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
2017 to
Yeah.
2023. Yeah.
Even Kegs, I think Kegs is on the same roadmap of like not cutting or getting super shredded for a long time. I think you got super shredded in like 2020, right? From your picture I saw,
Yeah.
2021.
2021. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
been that good at
But
anything.
even since then, it's been what, like 2.5 years, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And even for me, like I'm planning, I'm not even gonna, bro, I'm not gonna be below like 12% body fat next like 3 years,
Yeah.
2.5 years.
Good.
Because it's like, why would you want to be there?
That's where the gains are. Yeah.
That's where the gains are, right?
Yeah.
So
No, I agree with that.
properly, if you
Yeah.
bulk properly and you're in a surplus properly, your cut will be 10 times easier. And the most obvious point for us, but maybe not for everyone else, the more muscle you have, the easier your cut's gonna be. You're not gonna
100%.
have to eat like 1,500 calories, right? To get
Yeah.
shredded. If you have
Yeah.
a good amount of muscle, like you could get shredded on like 2,000, 2,100 calories. How many calories are you eating at the end of your cut, Rone?
I was training
Thousand,
days
right?
I was 2250, and then non-training I was at 1850.
Yeah. But how much did you compete on in 2017?
Yeah, I was like at 1650 or some shit, with like
Yeah.
7 days of Stairmaster for 45 minutes. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
So over that span of
That shit was fucked, bro. I went from 191 to like 136.
Bro, when I first competed, I was doing
Yeah.
75 minutes Stairmaster, level
That's
13 fasted, bro.
what the fuck.
Sprinting on this shit.
That's
Horrible.
fucked.
But anyways, what I was saying was Rounit competed on 1,700 calories in 2017, and a
Yeah.
couple months ago he got shredded, but he was eating 2,200, right?
Yeah.
So the
And
difference
like
of 600 calories.
the majority of the bulk, actually, I was like averaging 2450 calories. And the last couple months, I just put it down a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that's
Makes a
most
huge
people's
difference.
maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. But yeah, no, 100%. I agree with the mindset around training. I think a lot of times I've done this too. And sometimes like I've done this in the past for myself too. It's like, oh, okay, my strength is going down. Oh, I'm gonna cut. It's okay. But it's like Kag said, in the gym,
Bro,
always think about
first.
muscle and getting stronger every
Yeah.
single time. Don't even think you're cutting in the gym. That's why, like, I guess like having better sleep and better nutrition pre, post, intra workout can make sure like that strength performance in the gym is like top priority. And then don't be dumb and don't like fry your system by like when we're adding more dumb intensifiers.
Yeah.
Because you're not the extra volume isn't gonna make you grow muscle. You're
Yeah.
don't have enough calories. Like like your body's last thing is like I want to put on more tissue. Like that's so much more work for the body, right?
Yeah.
So
And a
like
lot of those, like, think about how crazy, like, I just realized it right now.
yeah,
When people want to build more muscle, they
yeah,
want to get a better pump, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
reason they want a better pump, that, like, they think of getting a better pump by doing drop sets, supersets.
yeah, yeah,
So you're doing those intensifiers to build muscle.
yeah,
But you can't even build muscle in a deficit. So why do you have it in there?
yeah.
Right? I just realized that when you said it. I'm like, oh damn.
It doesn't make
So
sense,
it's
right?
like it doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah,
You could have it if you just
for
enjoy
sure.
training hard,
Yeah.
but for the average person, it's gonna do more harm than good.
It's not gonna add anything to your cut.
It's not gonna add anything. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
yeah,
For us,
Yeah.
it may be a little bit different because we're like,
yeah.
you
We're
know,
like pros.
we live a really sick
fucking
life. We just
yeah,
work out for a living,
yeah,
right? And make shitty videos,
yeah.
and shitty podcasts that two people
No,
watch.
no. Come on, bro. Don't manifest that. This is like beautiful shit.
Oh my goodness.
This is like anaconda. Like never mind.
What?
Never mind. Your shit's supposed to
Anaconda?
look like an anaconda in the morning. It's supposed
Okay.
to stare back at you like a snake. Never mind.
Yeah. But
That's a
majority
good
of the
bowel
time,
movement.
it's not gonna work out for people
Yeah.
with the intensifiers.
Wait, hold up. What did you just say? We can't ignore what you just said. This is not okay.
Okay, whatever.
No, it's a sign of good bowel movement. If you like say like you have a shit in the morning and it looks like a snake staring back at you and you don't have to wipe, like it's just clean, that's really good bowel movement. I get that like 3-4 times in a week, bro. The other days it's a little bit fried.
Don't do any intensifiers in your cut.
That's it. But yeah, guys, training wise, don't overcomplicate it. Keep the same shit and just keep making sure in the mindset in the gym, keep progressing. Don't think you're cutting, so you're gonna get it's not gonna change anything. The
Yeah.
main thing the cut's gonna happen is through other stuff. Okay, that's 4, 5, fifth point. Actually, this leads into we talked about it kind of recovery, right? Recovery is actually gonna be important. So understand like calories is a way to recover, and obviously in a deficit you don't have those calories to recover, right? So you need to use other things to recover,
Mhm.
aka like better sleep, better food choices, more nutrient dense foods, right? Make sure like you're not constantly stressing yourself out doing random stuff. Some things you can manage, something you can't manage. Try to manage what you can actually manage. Drinking enough water, for example, going on some walks, doing some gorilla breathing, right? That could be really helpful. It basically goes like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do it. That's gonna be fucking jokes. Guys, look up gorilla breathing. It's gonna change your life. Okay.
Facts.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, and then like what, maybe up. I like doing this too, but I've been lacking on this last cut. But more like stretching and like mobility work here and there before workouts, after workouts, or like at nighttime while watching TV. If you watch TV, um, just doing stuff that helps you recover. That's not calories because you don't have the calories. So you want to up the recovery tools.
Even with the stretching, now that you just mentioned that, doing a
Yeah.
little bit more mobility work is gonna help
There you go.
because you don't have those extra calories, so you're at a higher risk of injury.
There you go.
So you have so much fatigue.
So much fatigue. Yeah. So yeah, just making sure your recovery is good, and it's gonna help you. Your appetite's not gonna be constantly up where cortisol is not high, so you're not craving these stupid carbs. Not stupid carbs, like craving sugar. Right? Carbs are not bad for you. I just meant like chocolates and shit.
The stupid carbs.
Stupid ass carbs. Eat your protein, bros. Come on. But yeah, manage the stress through sleep, better water intake, mobility work, stretching, watching some, nice funny cartoons, watching this podcast. Just finding other ways, even like yoga and shit. I don't know if you guys used to watch Ben Pakulski. This guy used to be a
Yeah.
big promoter of like yoga every
Yoga.
other day.
Yeah, my
So
first coach used to tell me to do that.
he
When I
used
was
to be
competing,
yeah,
he's like, go to a couple yoga classes at Good Life. I'll
yeah.
send my check-in. I'm like, bro, I went there. Awesome.
I used
Bro,
to
I'm not going
do
to
in
yoga.
COVID, bro. I used to do in the mornings. I used to do yoga on YouTube. There's YouTube videos, yoga, bro, yoga with Adrian. I don't know if you guys know her.
No.
She has like
What's a girl?
3 million subscribers, bro. It was a wicked in the morning, bro. You got yoga, yeah, it's
No,
nice.
no. And even bro, I think we're missing like the biggest thing
Yeah,
in a cut.
yeah. Cardi?
Be realistic, man.
I'll be realistic.
Like you're not gonna get as shredded as the people on Instagram, right?
Yeah, yeah,
There's so many people I talk to. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get ripped. I'm gonna get shredded this year."
yeah,
And like, number one, you don't have the muscle mass, right?
yeah. Just
Number
fucking
two,
small.
to even get to that point, you're probably like not even willing to like do the work, right?
Yeah,
Or put in the deposits, like Rounit says. And number three, like understand it's literally useless. Like
yeah.
getting that lean is literally
Yeah.
useless. Like it's
Mhm.
useless, right? Even if you are competing, it's actually pretty useless.
Yeah,
Like it's not going to
that
do
is true.
anything for you. Yeah, it looks cool. Maybe you get a couple pictures, but even the fucked up thing is when you do get those pictures, you look at them, you're like, damn, I was so small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That is true.
Yeah. Just be realistic. Get to 10% body fat. Don't
Yeah.
go any lower. I feel like
What's
majority of people can look really good at 10.
yeah? What's a realistic body weight or not body weight? How much pounds per week you should be losing?
You want to lose at least 1% of your body weight every single week,
Yeah.
at most. Right. So
So
if you're 200 pounds, lose 2 pounds. If you're 300, lose 3 pounds a week. If you're 250, lose 2.5, right? 1% of your body weight every single week. The little caveat is like the first couple of weeks when you're starting your cut, if you lose a little bit more than 1%, that's fine, right? But I wouldn't push more than that week after
and,
week.
and obviously another caveat, if you have more muscle mass, like that 200-pound person with more muscle mass,
Yeah.
they're not gonna lose 2 pounds a week,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like 1% of body fat. I guess it depends if you're higher body fat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Your specific amount, then you start losing.
0.5 to 1% of your
Yeah,
body weight
yeah,
every
yeah.
single week.
One to 1.5 pounds, kind of.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
good range. And
Yeah.
you can go higher the more body fat you have.
Exactly. And
Sometimes.
it depends on the person too, right? Like sometimes
Sure.
people only have like so much bandwidth.
For sure.
Like, bro, if you tell someone, okay, we're gonna do a cut, it's gonna be 7 months long.
Yeah, yeah,
What the fuck, bro? They're gonna be like, yo, I don't have 7 months to cut. They're gonna be like,
yeah,
yo, let's condense it down to like 4 or 3.
yeah,
People have bandwidth to do that, or like patience,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So then, like, obviously, you'll be a little bit more aggressive,
Yeah.
right? So I
This
think
is
time is a big thing as well.
that's a conversation where like sometimes I am getting better at it, convincing people. Most people, yeah, they want to condense it 3 months, 4 months. But usually the thing I tell them is like, hey, do you want to keep that weight off, or do you want to actually like slowly build up your physique afterwards, or you're just trying to lose this fat and your life is gonna change? 'Cause it doesn't work like that, right? So I usually tell them, like go through a phase where you build some good habits, so that way, like okay, you're someone who's primed for weight loss for a long period of time, right?
Yeah,
Instead of just doing it quick. But some people need that quickness just to get motivated, right? They need it like, okay, yo, like, okay, I can actually do this, achieve this. And once you get to that, then you're like, oh, wait, bro, like, this is actually going to take you like 2 years because you're fat. Really, like, so like the way to actually approach this so you
yeah,
don't gain all the weight back is build better habits, maybe, maintenance for a little bit, and then do a long cut. So that way you know
yeah.
how to cut. Yeah.
It's hard, Gil, because you're going off the person's personality type, right?
For sure.
Some
100%.
people are extremely stubborn. They're gonna keep doing
Exactly.
whatever. They're gonna keep doing it until they
Yeah,
see the results, no matter what. Other people are, very like they need to see a reward really quick.
for sure.
So they need to do something for 2 weeks and see a reward,
Yeah.
otherwise they'll stop.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
I'm
very
sure
hard to
you,
kind of read the person. You know
yeah,
yourself best, right? So obviously
100%.
obviously, take that into consideration as well,
Yeah. I'm
right?
sure you guys have funny stories for like clients. You're telling them, hey, bro, make sure you're like eating this much at least. And like, we're
They
only gonna
just
be,
eat it
yeah,
less, right? They eat
and they
less, right?
just, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's
Blows my mind, bro.
crazy.
Yeah,
Literally me 2 months ago, bro.
Yeah. Literally Cags 2 months ago.
yeah.
When it was like, yo, eat 2,200 calories. I was like, nah, bro, I want to see what aggressive batting would be like. that will start at like 1,500 calories, 1,600 calories
Bro,
splits.
What the
bro,
fuck?
some days I look at the
How did he?
calorie, it's like 900 calories in there.
It's like
Why?
1,200 calories.
He was trying to get aggressive
Bro,
with calories. He's
so
not
I
just
got
cut
aggressive
faster.
at
That's
the
not even
beginning.
aggressive. That's just mental. It's
I
full
dropped
mental.
like 10 pounds in the
Bro,
first like
I
3
thought he
weeks.
was gonna be like, yo, I told him to eat 2,000, 2,200. This dumbass ate 2,000. But it's like 2,200 to
Nah, bro.
900.
Yeah. 1,200. I was being actually
I think I
exaggerated.
lost
But
like
still.
12 pounds in the first like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then after that, like my body, like it just slowed down. I probably lost like maybe 5 pounds in the next like 8
Yeah.
weeks.
Actually, that's a good little science thing. So you can do this aggressive. There's actually science on it too. You can get aggressive, but like just do it for a short period of time, like a sprint, 3 to
Yeah.
4 weeks, and then after that you want to do
Then
a
bump
long
it back up.
push. Just because like after the first 3 4 weeks, I don't know the exact science, but there's some hormonal shit that happens that your cortisol is just through the roof at this point, where you're going to be putting under so much stress that a lot of other things are going to get impacted. Strength, performance in the gym, sleep, libido, all this other shit. That's going to mess up the physique you actually want, right? So
Yo, you did it before. You did with backs. You
I
did.
yeah
Let's say you started off with your coach at 3,000,
yeah
and you went just hypothetical numbers. Then you
yeah
went
yeah
on an aggressive cut for 4 weeks, right?
yeah.
How many
Yeah.
calories did you drop?
So
800?
then so the initial drop 2,200, but the non-training days was like 10
Very
grams of
low.
carbs. It was like 1,400 calories
Yeah.
on the non-training, and I would do non-training 2 to 3 times a week.
So and then after the 4 weeks,
Yeah,
they had an aggressive cut. You lost 10 pounds, right?
yeah.
Did you start to scale your food on volume? Did you start to scale your food up again from 2,200 calories, or you went back to 3,000?
No, I just scaled it up to like 2,500 ish.
Or in the
The
middle?
in the middle, and then the non-training I scaled up to like from like 20 30 grams of carbs to like 150 to 200. So
Yeah.
went from like like 1,200 to 1,300 calories on those days. I went to like 1,900 on non-training, and then training I went from like 1,900 2,000 to like 2,500.
And then from there, once you held that, then you started to
Yeah,
build your way up, right?
and then I just kept that until I lost all the weight, and then now I'm building my way back up. So right now I'm sitting
No,
at 32. Yeah,
yeah. So after the 4 weeks were done,
yeah,
you bumped it up to 2,500,
yeah.
and then you continued on your bulk, and then you went from 25, 26, 27, 28, and you went up, right?
You mean now like the end of the cut? That's what you mean?
Yeah.
No, so like I just went from 25. I went straight to 3,200.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because technically speaking, that's still my maintenance. Like the 29 3,000 is still my maintenance ish. So like 32 is where like I guess slight surplus.
Yeah.
But the non-training days is still around 23 24 even now. We just
I
gotta
feel
work the
like
carbs.
I feel like that's a good way. I feel like I would do that.
Yeah,
Like just just rip it for like three
yeah,
months,
yeah,
and 1 month just like drop a bunch of weight, and then just kind of like slowly keep going like this.
yeah. It's really good for
Yeah,
sensitization too.
yeah, exactly. 3 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah. It's
Because
really
bro,
good.
I've done like these long cuts. Yo, they're boring, bro.
Yeah, but then if you want to
Wait,
get shredded for like competition, then you kind of have
yeah,
to.
you have
But
to.
yeah,
You have
it's
to.
different.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about like just like gaining. Like if you're
yeah,
just trying to put on as much size as possible, right?
yeah.
Ideally, you want to be in a surplus for as long as possible, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we said
Uh,
6 point. Be realistic, right?
be realistic,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Yeah. Don't be
bro,
like
you don't need. Yeah,
yeah,
you don't need to be less than like 12% body fat. If you're like the average guy or girl.
yeah.
For a girl, I think it's 18%.
Yeah, 18%. Yeah, girls are supposed to be higher body fat.
Yeah. 18% for a girl.
Last point, I think we forgot about this completely. Cardio. How much cardio I need to do for weight loss? Do I need to do any cardio, or should I just increase my steps, or what should I do?
So for cardio, it's the same principle to food,
Yeah,
right? Just pick a number.
yeah,
Pick like a good starting point. If you're doing 0 minutes of cardio,
yeah.
just do 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
After every workout. And then see how your body kind of changes or reacts with that based on progress pictures, weight, and average weigh-ins.
Okay.
And then from there, when you plateau, you have one of three choices. You could increase your cardio. So you could go
Okay.
from 20 minutes to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Or you could decrease your calories. Let's say you're at 2,500. You could go from 2,500 to 2,300.
Yeah.
Right? That's your second. So first one is only adjusting cardio. Second one is only adjusting nutrition. Or your third option is adjusting both. So instead of going from 20 minutes to 30 minutes, you go from 20 minutes of cardio to 25. And instead of dropping your calories from 25 to 2,300, you could drop your calories from 2,500 to 2,400.
Yeah.
And you literally just rinse and repeat that cycle forever. right?
Pretty much.
Only time I would say is like you don't want to touch your calories is like when you start to get very low. I personally don't like to go less than like 1850 or 1800.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty good.
if you're at like 1800, then you're kind of stuck. You don't have a choice. Your only choice is kind of like increase your energy expenditure and how many calories and how much cardio you're doing,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
But before that, like you could do anything,
Yeah.
right? And then if you're someone that is, if you have little time to invest into the gym, I wouldn't increase your cardio. I would decrease your calories, right?
Okay, that
Because
makes
eating
sense.
400 calories less is a lot more efficient than doing an hour of cardio and burning 400
Yeah,
calories,
that's true.
right? So,
I usually prefer obviously more energy expenditure. I feel like instead of lowering calories, but yeah,
yeah.
like you said, if someone doesn't have time, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like
Buy a
that
treadmill?
was for like dads or moms or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
agree.
also for someone, bro, that just wants to see like if someone genuinely can't stay consistent longer than a month unless they don't see results, like yo, you have to go with the food option. There's no other way,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
right? Because bro,
That's true.
think about it, it's like just think about their brain, right? Or their mindset.
Yeah,
They're starting to do a bunch of this cardio and they're not seeing results. They're
yeah.
like, fuck this,
Not
right?
working.
Right?
Yeah,
They're like, fuck this. I'm
that's
putting
true.
more time into the gym. People are
That's
like, oh, I'm
true.
putting more time into the gym. I'm putting more. I'm
Yeah,
not seeing results. So
yeah,
for
yeah,
them,
yeah.
it's just like easier to drop the food,
Yeah,
right?
that's
But
true.
then you get fucking stuck because now the fucking calories are low,
So
and then
low.
you have to convince them to keep bumping up the food.
Yeah, that's
It's a
true.
double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's so like personality dependent.
Yeah,
uh, just on
I
like the
agree.
average person. If you're competing, it literally doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
The
Yeah,
end goal is the end goal. It doesn't matter. You're
yeah,
gonna have to do a bunch of cardio. You're gonna have to starve, right?
yeah. This
Can
is
you burn fat without doing cardio?
Yeah,
for sure.
that is extremely hard. But yeah, you can.
Without
I think
energy
when I got
expenditure.
shredded the
Yeah,
first time, I just used steps. I didn't do like actual cardio. It was COVID time, right? So like
yeah,
all I had was my dumbbells and my barbell at home. So I just like
yeah.
get my steps in,
How
and that
many
was
steps
my
are you
cardio.
averaging a day?
I think by the end of my cut, it's probably close to like 15 or 16,000.
Damn.
Oh, that you got
Um,
shredded on that?
yeah, I was only eating like
Calories.
maybe 2,100 calories by the end.
Oh, okay, okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. So
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't matter moving there.
This is a question. Steps wasn't a thing, yeah, before. I
Bro,
feel
it
like
just came into like
I heard this on
2019.
a podcast and it reminded me. I'm like, yeah, yo, when did I start using steps? I never even tracked them before. And now like steps is like a big thing. Even I use to everybody. I'm like, yo, get steps in, right? But like I was like, yo, shit. Before it was just straight like cardio, calories, and training. I didn't manipulate steps, but it does make a difference health wise. But I don't know how much it has in like the fat loss world, unless you up it to like 15, 16K.
Bro, the thing with steps is like,
Varies, right?
yo,
Depends how you get your steps.
yeah, it varies on how you get your steps. Like, here's what I'll say. Like, it won't make a world of a difference,
Yeah,
but it will make like a small difference.
for sure.
And that difference is noticeable. Like, let's say you're
Yeah,
doing, I don't know, like it's not gonna help you lose like 80 pounds, but it can
yeah,
help you lose a good like 20.
100%.
Right?
I think if you can
It's not
bump
gonna
up
be
your
the
steps,
bulk of your deficit.
Yeah,
if you're bumping your steps up by 1,000, it's probably not gonna do much. But like if you're bumping your steps up by like 2.5 or 3,000, I think that's gonna probably like I don't know if it's gonna be like 100 calories, but like it actually like you actually see the changes in your physique.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
adding 5 minutes of cardio, right? I'd probably equate it to that if anything.
But
I
yo,
feel like,
the thing
yeah,
with steps, it's time investment, right? Because majority people like they sit at their desk. Bro, you can't ask them if they work 9 to 5, they sit at a desk. For them to hit 15,000 steps is like mental. So like
Yeah.
for a lot of these guys, I don't even go over like 8,000 steps. You just have to increase cardio.
lazy,
Cardio.
bro. Fucking lazy. Lazy people, bro. It's
It,
like they don't have time to
bro,
track calories either. Like, yo, just
no, that's yo, I actually get that. But yo, think about it this way.
no, I'm
If
kidding
you
too.
work nine
Sometimes
to
I don't
five,
get steps, bro. I'm
yeah,
sitting right
bro. If
here.
you work
Yeah,
9 to 5,
yeah, yeah,
yo,
yeah,
you commute 30 minutes, you commute 30 minutes.
yeah.
That's 10 hours of your day. You only get
100%.
awake for
Probably
another
that.
6 hours.
Yeah,
In those
that's true.
6 hours, you have to be walking like constantly to hit 15, 16,000
Circles.
steps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not the
That's a lot.
extreme. Like I usually never push 15, 16, right?
No,
If
bro,
somebody
I think the
can,
highest I've gotten is like 10 for someone.
10 to 12. Yeah, I go 10 to 12
10,
pretty
10, 11,
consistently.
yeah, around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty good. No, honestly, bro, another thing with steps I realized is like it forces people to walk a bit more and leads to other things like better appetite, better digestion, better mood even, just moving in general, getting blood flow to your brains. Like we're just fucking sitting here staring at our phone all the time. We start moving more. You start feeling better, which allows you to make better decisions as well, right? So I think it's clutch for that as well, and obviously helps with fat loss. So
And one thing as well with steps is like it holds you accountable.
there you
Because
go.
like as the cut goes on, you're subconsciously gonna get lazier and lazier
Yeah.
and like preserve your energy.
Yeah.
Right. So there's been
That's true.
times when I'm on a cut, I'll just literally sit and I look at my steps, it's like I'm about to go to sleep in 3.5 hours. I'm at like 2K steps and I gotta
Yeah.
hit 10.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like forced to like walk around my kitchen and this and that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
So it kind of forces it's just another variable.
Yeah.
It's just another variable that you can control. And the more variables you can control, right, the better your results are going to be and the more consistent that they're going to be.
There you go.
Right.
Okay,
So
so for cardio and steps, it basically comes down to, like we said, all basically everything fucking combines together. So if you're not tracking your calories and your weight and like your pictures and stuff like that, you
yeah.
won't know how much cardio to add. But just don't add all the cardio right off the bat, like 7, 8 days right off the bat. Maybe in certain situations that could work, but initially don't add everything. Use it as a tool and implement it as you start to see and want certain results, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Last point, consistency. Oh, what are you gonna say, Kat? What?
I gotta pee, bro. Hurry up.
Okay, last point, consistency.
Just be consistent.
Just be consistent. Yeah,
Yeah.
like doesn't matter all the shit we just talked about. If we're not doing it consistently, it doesn't matter. Anything else?
No.
Kags has to go piss. I think that was a good. We went through what's all the points quickly. Calorie deficit,
Calorie deficit,
Calorie
appetite,
deficit,
appetite,
training,
training, recovery.
recovery,
cardio,
recovery,
recovery,
consistency, be realistic.
consistency, and be realistic.
That's good.
7
Okay.
points.
All right, guys. Enjoy losing your fat. Okay.
Don't be
Take
fat.
it easy.
Bye.
Don't be fat. Bye bye. Bye. Oh, shit, I was gonna end it.